I think the more you listen, the more you can do. We are in a hurry to have conversations. We are in a hurry to speak. We are in a hurry to do things. We are in a hurry to share things today. We are in a hurry to forward things to other people. And very rarely are we taking a deep breath to just listen. And the listening is not about somebody else. Sometimes it's also about listening to yourself. Everybody says that the ideas come between your two ears. But the ideas come when somebody else shows, says, or does something, and you put your perspective on it, or you put your stamp on it, and that's how something gets sparked off. So I think listening is a very big part of my learning process. It means that then you have to keep your eyes and mind open, because it could come from anywhere. Having spotted, seen, identified, or understood that this is a great idea or can be a great trigger, being able to then not be democratic about it is really important. And that is where the creative process stops becoming democratic and collaborative and becomes singular in that pursuit of following through that idea and making that change happen. The democracy has to be about listening and participation, having everybody in the room being allowed to say what they have to say, or to share or do what they have to do. But once you have funneled that down to what it has to be, you've got to be singular and build on that. So in 1996, when MTV was brought into India, it was brought into India as an American feed, right? So there was a great thing that, you must do Indian music, because Star had bought in Channel V, and that was really a fabulous product because it played Hindi music, it played some English music, and it was going to be very difficult to copy that, because when you copy it, you don't become better. You become bigger and better by seeing what is it that's going to work. And in my head, not having this as silos, like Hindi music followed by English music, Bollywood followed by pop, etc. was going to work. But the Bhelpuri was going to work, right? Which is a very Bombay-ish term, because you mix it all up. Now, when the research was done, it was done with 5,000 people, very typical scientific, quantitative, mathematical approach of what music people liked. And many people were surprised by what the research threw up. This is 1996, the number one artist, Mohammed Rafi. Now, if I went on the street and I said, everybody loves Mohammed Rafi, the answer would have been, you're talking rubbish, this sucks, throw this research away. But if you try to understand the research, it was an artist whose song you could whistle, you could hum, and everybody tried to ape him, regardless, men, women, everybody. And I remember this very distinctly well. There was a big discussion at MTV about who was the right target audience. And we had many people, and you're an example, I'm sorry, like you, young, with a ponytail, right? And I had bought this refrigerator from Chor Bazaar, it was empty. And anybody who thought was cool was made to sit inside that. Because, that was the wrong notion of what was cool in India. India was going to enter its 50th year of independence. We didn't have the kind of gadgets. An SMS cost 18 rupees. A phone cost 50,000 bucks. Phone still cost 50,000 bucks. SMS are free. So what triggered it off was on Chinchpokli Bridge as we were coming up. There were these two kids who must have been 16, 17, 18 years old. They're wearing a t-shirt and a trouser. They didn't look like they came from a rich home. They didn't have any fancy stuff with them. These two boys had their arms around each other in typical Bombay style, right? They were walking down, they were talking, they were having fun, they were laughing. They were in groups of 2-3 people, right? So there were 6 or 7 of them. I got off the car, it was an ambassador, and I asked them what they thought was cool in India. And for them, passing time on the street, having fun, maybe looking at the girls, thinking that, one day those girls will be their girlfriends, but not at this point of time. Having some money in their pockets, being able to do something which was cool and fun was good. Until then, they were having chai on the street, they were singing a song from a Hindi movie, and they were just passing time. That was what was cool about India. It was the ordinary person who was cool in India. It was not a South Bombay, South Delhi person sitting in a car, not somebody messy with a ponytail or ears pierced, right? And it meant to go back and say what people want in India was defined in one word. MTV used to use the line, "Do you get it?" And that was not going to work because nobody got it. It transformed itself to say MTV Enjoy. Song used was a song from an R.D. Burman track, "Ye Jawani Hai Diwani," from the movie Jawani Diwani. The montage shot was about a little chaiwala who was cleaning the cars at Gateway of India. As the rain came in, his task became more difficult. but he was smiling and he was walking around the street and he was enjoying life. He was a young kid. And that was MTV's definition of Desi cool. We used to call it lassi in a can. That's what we want to do. To me, that is India. All the research we did was just said open that the backbone of Indian music will forever always be film music. But we mixed it up, we stirred it up, we took the imagery of ordinary people in India. Today that has become the more norm. It wasn't a norm then. And building on that, to me, that is what India is about. That is creativity. Just finding momentary insight from people on that street. After that, it's become the canvas. Many commercials, from a Fevicol to Pepsi to Coke to Nike, are all about the streets of India. Right? It's not a secret, but it's being able to sparkle that flame, which then throws a light that you don't need to look, because we used to look at the Western world. It may be right in some contexts when you talk of high fashion, but it's not right in the fashion of everyday India.